For people who aren't familiar with your story, could you tell us a little bit about that day?
Well, I got up that morning just as normal, just as any normal person. Went in to have my prayer time and spend some time with the Lord and talking to him and listening to him. But unfortunately, during that time, he didn't tell me that I was going to be meeting Michael Hill later on that day.
And this was someone who you knew, and you had, tell us about him. What was he like that day when he showed up?
Well, I didn't previously know him. He actually came into the school with all black on. He had his rifle already ready in position. He had his hand on the trigger and came in to allow us to know that he was not playing. When he first came in, I thought it was a joke. I'm like, oh, okay. Then he was like, no, this is for real. This is not a joke. I need you to understand that this is for real.
And many people might just completely freak out and instantly create a divide between that person and the other. Perhaps why I assumed you knew him is because that's not how you took the opportunity to work to save these children. You decided to try to communicate with him, not just on a please don't shoot us level, but on a personal level. You shared with him very intimate details of your own life.
Yes, that was because I actually knew that pain. I had just experienced that pain myself about 6 months ago. My husband of 33 years had just left me for another woman, man that I had been with since I was 13, so it was devastating to me. I had tried to commit suicide and just overwhelming. And so I knew the pain that he felt, so I could be able to show him compassion and love. And
were you surprised when that path started to work? Were you surprised when opening up with him and telling this man armed with a rifle and armed with all of this ammunition that, hey, you know, we're not so different. I too wanted to commit suicide just a short while ago. Were you surprised when that started to work?
Well, really, I didn't know it was working because remember that he was pacing up and down, even though I was saying these things to him. He was pacing up and down, up and down in the hallway. He was going outside shooting at the police officers. He was loading up his gun with more ammunition, pacing, saying this is not a joke, this is for real, we're all going to die today. So I didn't know that it was ever even reaching him because he did not communicate back to me.
Well, people can't imagine this scenario, and we're so grateful that you're here sharing your story. We have a comment here from Lauren Teresa. What was going through your mind while talking to the shooter?
Lord, please get us all out of here safely. I was terrified. I thought I was screaming on the inside. So I was just like, okay, God, what do I do now? Where are we going to go from here now? Because remember that he was agitated. He had already shot a bullet right in there in the room where I was at to show me that he wasn't playing. So I knew that every word that proceeded out my mouth could have been life or death.
And this is just one of the stories you tell and Prepared for a Purpose, because your life did not start with this day, luckily, nor did it end. So tell us a little bit about how the book talks about this experience and wraps it around your entire life.
Well, I actually wrote this book because I wanted everyone to know that it didn't start there. It actually started when I was a young lady. God had been preparing me for this moment long before that. It just didn't happen with my ex-husband leaving me either. It happened when I was a child, from abandonment issues to being homeless, not knowing where to go, and not having anywhere to live. And I speak about all that in my book. And I just wanted to allow people to know exactly, no matter what, we all have a purpose in life.